because this is a house of windfalls, right? It could also be, of all things, a bit of a windfall of money coming your way in the first 7 days of the month.
Lunatic astrology.
Gemini, this is going to be a fantastic month for you, the month of May 2026. We're talking about your sun, moon, and rising sign in Gemini. You're all going to appreciate Venus's love for you this month ahead and how she's going to work her ass off to bring you some beautiful expression of career success and also more enjoyment of your social life. We're also going to notice some prosperity stories picking up some steam this month ahead and some fresh new beginnings in long-term committed love and potentially fulfillment of long goals you've had for marriage or moving in with somebody or those kinds of things as well. All said and done, this is a positive month. We have an unusual number of moons. We have 3 of them, and that kind of makes it very blue moonish, if you know what I mean. And we also have Gemini, the beautiful idea here that because we are in a window in the first 3 weeks of the month where things are moving in mostly flow, 90% flowing relationships between planetary aspects, and planetary dignity is here as well, you're going to find you're really enjoying May. Up to the first 3 weeks. The last week of May, the whole world is going, and we're going to talk about your and how as a Gemini sun, moon, and rising, you can cope and what you might want to do about that last week of May. And welcome to my channel, because if you're new, my name is Lori Lothian, and this is the Western Tropical Astrology, Zodiac Astrology, not sidereal, not Vedic. Also, when I tell you to listen for your sun, your moon, and rising sign, it's because your sun is your game player and the rising sign is the avatar in the game of the simulation of life, right? Or the sun is your actor and the movie character is the ascendant. If you don't know how to cast your chart in whole sign houses, which you must use in terms of general bell curve astrology on YouTube, plus it's the best house system around, and you don't know how to find your rising sign, no worries. In my description box below, go scrolling down, you'll find my free tutorial on how to do that, even my free meanings of the 12 houses PDF, a lot of freebies down below for you. Second of all, if you're listening for your sun, you're going to apply it to career matters and purpose. If you're listening for your rising, it's your character in the simulation, including your body. And so it's going to be very sensitive to life circumstances, right? After the age of 45, your sun comes humming online a bit more and you might relate better to the sun sign, but listen for sun for sure and rising. Moon sign is how you feel and think about life, but it represents your home, as I'm always telling people. Nothing like an eclipse to the moon to eclipse people from your home or you from your home. And so you can think of the listening for moon sign connected to where you live, but also how you feel and think about life, your emotions, etc. Okay, mindset, all of that. I'm recording this for you guys way early on April the 13th. Let's get storying it up. I'm going to show you a picture of the sky and we're going to go through it together week by week by week. If I'm too fast for you, slow me down on the playback speed. If you're a part of my Patreon community, be getting this early access ad-free, way ahead of the curve. And oh, by the way, I'm teaching my Divine Timing Masterclass, 5 weeks live with me in May on Saturdays, 2 weekly Q&As to make sure all time zones are covered. You can take one module or all 5, and you'll be able to find out more about that by looking for the link to the website for enrollment in my description box below. I don't care if you're listening to this in the 3rd week of May. There might still be 2 Saturdays ahead, and you can join me for those 2 classes. All right, let's talk about, and my beginners class, Sky Reader, is coming up in September. This class I'm teaching is for advanced beginners or intermediate students. If you go to the website, it'll give you a little self-checklist to see if you're ready. All righty, come on, Gemini, I'm one of you. My son progressed there into your sign about 17 years ago. And so I kind of vibe out with the Geminis very, very well these days. And for me and you and all of us, sun is your career. Remember that this is going to feel very good to be you in the month of May. I'm sure there's a song for that. I kind of got Katrina and the Waves, walking on sunshine. Wow, ho, big old 80s song. And why are you liking it? Why are we liking it? Well, first of all, Venus is in our sign. Now, anytime this happens, we feel lovely, beautiful, likable. We are happier and more experiencing more personal pleasure in life, and people find us quite attractive. It's great for dating. So when Venus enters into your sign and hangs out there, you feel good. And she goes into your sign on April 24th. So the last week of April, yay you, until May the 18th. So that time frame is good for your appearance, good for your wardrobe, good for feeling good about you, good for new haircuts and jewelry if you like. Be beautiful. You can be beautiful. I'm gonna make a funny joke, but I won't. So be best, be beautiful. And as you're being beautiful, the world sees you as beautiful. You're also very original, and you're breaking outside the mold, and you're wearing your freak flag, and you're being eccentric, because Venus is accompanied, of course, by Uranus. So there's a lot of originality, inventiveness, and a way you're expressing through to the third week of May. That aside, on May the 1st, the full moon occurs in Scorpio, and it will be at 11 degrees of Scorpio in the house of work. Now, it's full, meaning it's fulfilling or completing or highlighting something that perhaps in your work environment, job, work, colleagues, coworkers, employees, employers, you could have employees, something that began back in November around the 19th. So think about those 6 house themes could also involve debts and also involve rental properties. So, for example, I planted a seed in November. I went to see rental properties with my daughter, and now I'm moving into the same building as she is because the seed was planted when I went real estate hunting with my daughter for a rental. So I could say, yeah, a seed planted November 19th regarding rental property, could have been around pets, could be around debts, could be around your daily habits for work and job and work and career. And finally, your health, right? Scorpio is your health. So you planted seeds there, and now it's fulfillment time. It's full light in that part of your chart. And so we could say something along the lines of May the 1st, add up to a month really, but, more approximately the first 2 weeks, you'll see something connected to that theme returning to fulfill or complete. And it could also unfold over 6 whole months, not a one and done. It takes time to unfold. And at 11 degrees, it's in a square to Jupiter, trine to Jupiter. So Jupiter says also more money, more financial success through your work, beginning from the moon of the May 1st, and then let it flow, right? Let it roll over the course of 6 months. So it can be a very professionally successful energy, and then it does flow as well to the North Node in your 10th house. It opens up your Artha houses and opens up financial and material realm success over the months that follow this moon. Look for evidence of that in the first 2 to 3 weeks later. All right. Then on May the 1st to the 3rd, Venus is going to come into a harmonious connection to Saturn. It's called a sextile. Venus is all about love and beauty, and also money, and sometimes worth and self-worth and values. And there she is in your sign, but she wants to work with Saturn, and he's in a work house. He's particularly in the house of work gains. The only other way to put it is you might reconnect with a friend that you have been out of touch with. Saturn can represent a friend from the past, an old friend, and also a fallen friend. Maybe you had a falling out, and there could be a beautiful reconnection in the first 3 or 4 days of May with that friend. Otherwise, Saturn's working really hard with a stellium in Aries. It's been here since April to make you money in a diligent, disciplined, hardworking, passionate, driving, ambitious way with Mars, right? And so it's conceivable that this is going to look like, money is hard and love is hard isn't true. Money flows and love is flowing as well. And I guess if you were single and you wanted to meet somebody, you can meet somebody through groups of friends. This could open up a door to a new relationship, and you could be madly in love with this person. Thunder, lightning, the way you struck me is frightening, because Venus is the ruler of your falling in love house. Yes. And because as well, Mars is that passionate energy, and wait till we get to that, it's going to get better and better. But Saturn is like enduring, and this person could be 6 to 7 years younger or older than you, and you meet them through communities of friends. Now, when we move into the other story, Mars squaring Jupiter, which is also happening all week long, the first week, May 2nd to the 7th in essence, well, Mars is like making decisions and taking actions in his warrior exalted home sign. And Jupiter is, his warrior home sign, and Jupiter is exalted in your money house. Well, this is a tense aspect. Both planets are positively placed. You might have to make some executive decision-making, action-taking energy and expend it really powerfully, like, to do with the way you're making money in the world, connected to the actual possessions you have, the savings account, the bank, the loans, the money that's building here. if you want to quit your job, which some people do under this kind of transit, sometimes Mars in the 10th and the 12th is like, I'm out of here. Then you're going to get out of cash out. You're going to quit and cash out. Maybe it's because Saturn rules your chunky money. You'll get a severance package. So, a bonus, just early retirement bonus or something like that. Otherwise, it's going to be, what do you need to do? Mars, act on, decide on, choose immediately with urgency. And the first, week of the month, the 2nd to the 7th, is going to amplify your prosperity. Because this is a house of windfalls, right? It could also be, of all things, a bit of a windfall of money coming your way in the first 7 days of the month, right? And all you're doing is taking possession of the windfall. Venus is ruling your house of good fortune, and she's, working with it with you. So you could win money. That includes lotteries in the first 7 days of the month. All right. We see that Mercury squares Pluto for unearthing of difficult information or challenging but transformative conversations. This may happen with a sibling, one older, with a friend in your social circles. And that's the conversation place up here. And Pluto is in the 9th house of legal matters, courts and court matters, foreign lands and foreign shores, including travel, as well as something that may be involving a sibling 2 older. So we see a sibling 1 older and 2 older involved in difficult, transformative, regenerative conversations, or the exposure of hidden information, including legal information, but also including sibling storylines. And Mercury rules the house of your childhood. So childhood stories connected to siblings and deep revelations on the 3rd to the 5th of the month. All right. We have a beautiful, gorgeous material prosperity trine forming as the moon will move into a position that allows for this to be obvious. So the moon will move into Capricorn, and here we have this triangle that begins to form. This is called a grand trine, and in fact, it forms a kite to the node of fate. And it's not being drawn exactly perfectly here, but it's my best drawing. And what you're going to see happen is around this time, May the 6th, it's a day-long transit, but May the 6th, is some financial flow emerging connected to prosperity, land, home, real estate, chunks of money, investments, earnings, taxes, and distant shores, far off places and people, or money and commercial activity from foreign countries and foreign lands. Just like digital income and borderless revenue, you come into a glowy flow, and it highlights material resources and worldly success in your career. And I think you're going to like the vibe of it. And it has a quality of the nodes, which means it's destined, and it's kind of picking up steam off of the March 2nd eclipse. So it's going to be prosperous, and it's going to be successful for your career and reputation. And we're going to go now into the 2nd week of the month, fellow Geminis, with my progress sun. No, don't. Progress planets are not the primary thing to look at. They're secondary, but they're useful. All right. So what you see going on here in the next narrative, am I recording? Gosh, I better be. Is that the 2nd week of the month is all flow, pure flow. Let's start off with Sun and Jupiter, golden opportunities, beautiful luck, defining moments of feeling fortunate. May the 9th to the 13th, as the Sun will sextile Jupiter. The Sun here, Jupiter here, money, earnings, prosperity, wealth, 12th house, foreign lands, distant shores, international revenue, digital income, and borderless money. Yeah, looking good on us here. But also you could get money from a father figure or a male figure in a hospital setting. Could be anything like that. Or money from a male figure in a foreign place. That's that same story. But you're going to feel that beautiful energy around your prosperity and the 12th house stories. And if you have a lot of expenditures you've been dealing with, this is going to soothe and smooth out the expenditures and put more money in your pocketbook. This is May 9th to the 13th. And the Sun is the ruler of your 3rd house. So if you're writing, communicating, teaching, marketing, and selling, then you're going ka-ching, 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 especially if you use social media. All righty. Then on the 11th to the 13th, we're moving into Mercury, following suit and sextiling Jupiter. Mercury is going to be like, do you want to write a contract? Do you want to sign a deal? Do you want to talk about this? Do you want to negotiate? Money and distant shores, money and someone in a hospital setting. Oh, I'm going to give me all my money when I die, whatever this is, but it is also because of this energy here, right? Beautiful energy, likely is going to feel like you've got the information or news or commercial success that you're really grateful for. And you could be wanting to sign a contract or an agreement with someone in a distant land or far off place, which is highly likely because Mercury is in that house and he rules the negotiating and contractual agreement stories. All right. And in Taurus, ruled by Venus in your sign, she's watching out for you. So it should go very, very well. There's a mutual reception between Venus and Mercury. It's in a semi-sextile. So they're working to bring you more money and more goodness in your life. Or maybe an opportunity to take a trip abroad, or to a distant place, but suddenly it's all about that trip will also make you money, right, somehow, some way. All righty. What about the Cazimi? Mercury every 6 times a year, he joins the sun at what we call a Cazimi, which is a conjunction. This is a superior conjunction on the other side of the sun. We can't see it from here at 23 degrees of Taurus. So behind the sun, he's having a hookup with the divine headquarters of the solar system, and he's resetting your 12th house. Now, a reset in the 12th house that could unfold visibly for you, and you'll understand it in the 6 months that follow, 6 weeks that follow, can be a reset around solitude, adventures to distant places and lands. So, going off and traveling somewhere. There's a travel indicator with the sun ruling your house of travel. An opportunity to do some mercurial things from home in solitude, that you'll launch something, you'll work on something from your home, maybe writing, communicating, marketing projects, and you want to say, okay, May 14th, that's 6 weeks. I'm resetting here. I'm going to do this stuff all by myself, probably in and from your home. You're going to be working it. You may have an opportunity under this kind of reset button for more commercial success. It's a good day to send out a resume to a distant person, or you might get some news from a far off land and shore. Pay attention to that day. It's a positive reset. It unfolds over 6 whole months, and it personally benefits you because Mercury is a ruler of your sign. Good for spas and going off to spa treatments as well, and ashrams if you like. All right, moving forward on May the 16th, now we're talking the 16th, we're now in the 14th to the 21st, right? May the 16th, a new moon in Taurus at 25 degrees of Taurus. Well, a new moon or a new beginning in your 12th house depends on your life. This could be a new beginning regarding your connection to people in distant places and lands, a new beginning connected to an opportunity for an adventure to a far offshore distant land, or even travel to a country other than yours, but also the other side of your own country. A new moon, new beginning here, right? Starting fresh. New beginnings around addiction, self-undoing, bad habits and patterns. Absolutely. Cut away that sabotaging stuff. Start over. Venus is in your sign saying, I got you. We got this. You're beautiful. We're lovely. We've got this. Also, you might find this new moon could offer you a new way to earn money from foreign people or foreign shores, or you might want to move like a digital nomad to a foreign country and make money. South Node says some of you might do stuff like spend a lot of time in another country while you earn money in another country. All right. I don't know why. It could be for many reasons you would choose that. And that might be something that you'll do for love or committed love or romantic love, is spend time abroad, as also you can make money off of this. But the energy of this new moon, new beginning will be seeded. And so pay attention to the 16th of May, add 2 weeks to see evidence for what it's about. And you might even notice that by the time you get to 6 months, it's evident. 6 months later, you know what you planted here. May 16th to May 18th, May 16th to May 18th, we'll see Venus sextiling Mars. The cosmic lovers are sizzling. Venus, Mars. This is good for romance. This is good for sexuality and fun and pleasure, and likely from coming into contact with more social time and more social activities. The 16th to the 18th is conceivable, and you're feeling beautiful and loved and worthy of affection. You might also find that you could, if you were single, be attracting a very masculine person into your life with an age difference of 6 to 7 years younger or older through acquaintances, friends, and clubs you belong to, and doing things with those people. And you will smack yourself into a new love story, and it could take you quite off your feet. So, it could be quite exciting. If you're already with someone, you're just doing more social, fun things with them and enjoying their company and the company of others. When we look at the next part of the story in a minute, let me just pause before we get there, because there's more Mars, Venus. Mercury will sextile Neptune And this could be information or ideas that are Neptunian. Well, Mercury's also trining Pluto at the same time. So Mercury right here, right, is going to cross the sign boundary and he will move into your first house, by the way, with Venus. He'll be in your first house. Look at how lovely that is. He'll be in your first house, the communicator, ideator. So it's going to impact your career if you're a Gemini Sun, your home life if you're a Moon, and it's going to impact your everything about your character if you're a Gemini rising. So anyway, here he is, and he's entered into your domicile place and his home kingdom. He's strong here. Mars is strong in his sign, a lot of strong planets. He'll be here from May the 17th to June the 1st. May the 17th to June the 1st. Because he'll be here for that time, you're going to go through the second half of this month on your A game. Your speech, your communications, your ideas, your negotiating abilities are bar none at the top of your game. And you can negotiate anything, including things to do with home, property, land, and real estate, where the South Node is, right? Not too bad. Or you can speak more freely and with greater power to those with whom you live in a cohabitational setting. Now, when Mercury's here, your ideas are over the top, and he's going to jump into the arms, of course, of Uranus. Well, he also sextiles Neptune and trines Pluto. What that does create is a beautiful miniature triangle. And ultimately, this leads to flow, luck, and ease, writing, communicating, publishing, online influence success, commercial success, success regarding breakthrough ideas, breakthrough moments, breakthrough eurekas, insights, and ahas. And in fact, he will be perfectly co-joining on the 17th and 18th, that Uranus. So you could have a massive breakthrough in your understanding or your ideas in some way, or a breakthrough conversation that surprises you, or contractual negotiation, including book publishing deals. That becomes even better when the sun crosses over as well. We'll get to that. Now, the thing with Mars is interesting, and Venus. You'll notice that this, hot fire and this air, that if you're falling in love with someone under this thing, you are head over heels. It's like it's conflagration, it's combustion, it's intense. But then, look, Mars is transiting now the 12th house. Venus has moved into the second house. It's happening on the same day, May the 19th. And all of a sudden, you have a new story. Venus is saying, I want to make you money. I want you to love your money. I want to bring you food that you really enjoy. I want to make your face more beautiful. And Jupiter says, let's do it. At the same time, they're talking to Mars, Mr. Decisions and Actions. And there can be some major choices here. Like you might want to do some kind of spa getaway, foreign land trip, dietary restrictions here, cutting, ending, and severing something that you shouldn't be eating, especially if you would call it slightly addictive. And Mars is trying to give you perseverance and bulldozer impact in doing that. Some of you may take money and want to spend it on a 12th house thing, which would be that spa, that getaway, that foreign land trip of some sort. With the sun in Taurus still, this also indicates some of this money stuff to do with distant lands and shores may be connected to a travel opportunity that is emerging. And it may be also for romantic love. Okay, travel for romance, but you'll have to spend money, right? And that's what Venus is saying. Is it worth spending on if you want a sizzling getaway romantic trip with somebody you are attracted to? Because Venus does rule your house of romance and falling in love. If you're entrepreneur, artistic, or creative, it's going to probably urge you to get really down with some creative energies in your alone time that will make you money, but you have to focus on doing the work to get ready for that. Anyway, this energy is going to play out here between these two planets from the 19th to the 21st of May. Now, Venus will square Neptune. This can be a little disillusioning for some people some of the time. Some people say Neptune's a higher octave of Venus in modern astrology. But Venus is in a mute sign. She's kind of hanging there. She's like very much about, comfort food and facial beauty connected to, looking good, makeup maybe, or like getting your teeth cleaned or something like that. So here she is, and she's going to be there on May 21st, and she's going to be exactly squaring Neptune. So a day or two before that, the 19th to about the 22nd, 3rd, there may be some kind of disillusionment with a friend or a sibling one older, or with some kind of career gains project that you've been hoping to see better results from. And the other thing is that you might also be finding, if you use Neptune, like some of us are like, Neptune is videography platforms like Instagram, Reels, TikTok, YouTube. And now there's a square. There's a tug of war between Neptune's ability to generate, career gains and your own desire to experience just more pleasure in your life, especially pleasure in your second house, which is oral pleasure. But you know what I mean? Like food and good food and great conversations. Yeah, it's a bit of a tug of war, but disillusionment can happen here too. So maybe making money is like chasing the paper or a gilded cage of financial success. And now all of a sudden you're having to look at your values, right? Venus in the second house will have you address what are your values around money? And you're coming to terms with something and maybe looking deeper for the spiritual values you hold about finances, money, and career success. And you'll be asking those questions and going rather deep. All right. All right. And again, that's around May 21st. On May the 22nd, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, all of that. Okay, we have a couple things happening. There's a bit of a surprise because the sun was doing what Mercury did, right? First, Mercury joined Uranus and gave us Eureka on the 17th, 18th, and now the sun is doing it on the 21st, 22nd. So this could be like lighting up the idea and trying to get you to make it into something real. What would you do with it? You would go, okay, the idea I had will become a course. It will become a website. It'll become a social media platform. It will become a writing project, right? Because the sun rules your third house. Could be a change of neighborhood as well, or something exciting coming through your life and also connected to a sibling around the solar activation of Uranus on the 21st and the 23rd to the 23rd. And finally, Venus sextile Saturn. Now, this is good because perseverance and Venus sextile Saturn. What am I talking about? Mercury sextile Saturn. I apologize. Mercury sextile Saturn. So when do we feel it? The 21st, 22nd, 23rd, Mercury sextile Saturn. Really kind of exact on the 22nd of the month. It's good news, maybe, or information or news that excites you, or maybe it surprises you because of Uranus here. And it has to do with a friend from the past, an old friend, something in the life of the sibling, just one above you, older than you. And because Saturn is fallen, it'd be like a fallen friend, an out of touch friend, a friend from the past, a friend that you had dismissed, right? Or there could be something given Saturn's, rulership of your ninth house, where there is a positive development regarding negotiations and contracts regarding publications and book publishing that allows for a sense of a dream come true. And you'll see that energy being very active for you. And Mercury can rule those kinds of negotiations and discussions, and also with the word agents as well. And so you're going to see that being a very highly active storyline here. In the 22nd of May, a day or two before and after. Let's go to the gnarly last week of the month. Are you buckled up? Because it is intense and every sign's got an intensity, so don't take it at all personally. But we're going to have Mars squaring Pluto on May the 23rd. Now, Mars and Pluto, this is a very brutal energy sometimes, and Mars is demanding. And yet he's out of dignity in Taurus. You're going to have Mars in Taurus, as I think I already mentioned. Well, if I did, May 19th to June 28th. And it's really good for foreign travel or persevering on a project and getting stuff done behind the scenes and bulldozing your way through it, or also cutting addictions out as well. But as he's sitting here on May the entrance point, May the 19th, exiting on the 28th of June, right? 6 weeks. This is a big energy, and it could be to do with distant foreign people and lands. Pluto's in the house of foreigners. And Mars is in the house of, well, hidden enemies too. You're going to get clobbered by a hidden enemy from a foreign land. But also it can just be like, these are two travel houses, right? We travel with Mars, adventure to another country. Pluto, transformation, death, and rebirth. There's something happening what looks like it could be a real intense time regarding a travel plan or a travel opportunity that may not manifest, especially with the sun trining Pluto, meaning the sun says it's travel related. So there's a blockage or a halt or a stuckness around a travel plan, travel situation that had been in place or will be trying to put into place. And it just is really, really tense. Mars is in the house of hospitals. Pluto's in the house of father figures, one of the father figure houses. The sun is trining Pluto. There can be a story of a hospitalization of a father figure going on in this sky as well. As we move through the brutality of, May 23rd to 26th, on the 27th and the 29th, that 3 days there, Saturn and Venus love is hard, money is hard, but Saturn's in Grim Reaper as well. So there could be a terminus in a friendship, an end of a relationship of some sort. But it's really more of a money story to me because Venus is in the money house. So as we get to the 27th and 29th and she's squaring Saturn, it just could be some kind of wall. You're hitting a burnout wall regarding money or regarding pleasure and social activities or regarding a friendship group or a belonging circle that you no longer feel you want to align with. Okay, those are some possibilities. And Venus does rule the romance house. And so she could transfer some of that to some blockages in romantic love, hardship in romantic love, coming through the sky, maybe because of friends and groups of belonging. Maybe you want to convert a romance into a friendship, friends with benefits or just friends. Now, the last thing happening this month, Gemini, is May the 31st. We have a Sagittarius full moon at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. You planted a seed for a new beginning in the sign of Sagittarius on December the 19th. That new seed was happening at 28 degrees of Sag. So the new moon happened here at the end of Sag back in December 19th, planted a seed in the house of long-term love relationships, business partnerships, and audience marketplace. And those you serve in that audience marketplace, customers, clients vibe. And now the seed is blossoming into May 31st, 9 degrees Sag, fullness, fulfillment, completion. Some of you might not remember December 19th, out a couple of weeks. What were you doing the last 2 weeks of December that may be a symbol of something you were trying to begin to initiate regarding the seventh house? Now, like if it's about a long-term committed love relationship and the moon is happening in the seventh house, right? It is ruled by Jupiter in the money house. So it could be about your commercial success through long-term love and commitment, whatever that means, or through business partners, or through matters connected to how you approach your audience, and coming into some new fulfillment energy here, completion energy here. And it is at 9 degrees of your seventh house. So it does come into the bending of the nodes of fate on the angles for you. So this is a really critically important fulfillment moon. It can transform your relationship to your career, right? And also to your home. More likely to transfer the relationship because the moon is applying to the north node. So transformation in fated destined ways around what worldly success and career mean to you in relationship to business partnerships and alliances, audience and marketplace. The 10th house is a house of weddings. And so it's possible a new moon could fulfill a desire or opportunity for marriage, commitments, cohabitation, up-leveling, fulfilling a dream. But having Jupiter ruling it from the second house, a lot of this also brings in the theme of money. And to some extent on this moon, because I'm going to move us forward to the 31st, but I'm going to lose you, but I'll try my best. I'm closer. Okay, let's just go there. The moon is over here, right? Right here, and it'll be at 9 degrees. Venus is at 11 and Mars is at 7. And we'll be covering this on my channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I forgot to ask you to like and subscribe because we're going to have a finger of God connected to that moon as well. So there's a very fated, destined turning point connected to money, distant shores and lands, and committed love, or your audience and marketplace, and it will influence a change of direction in a fated way that brings worldly success to your career as well. So let's see how it goes. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing. Check everything about me in the description box. And I'd love to see some of you in my Divine Timing Masterclass in the merry, merry month of May. I'll see you again on the other videos that we do this month. And liking and subscribing is so important to the channel's growth. Please consider doing that. I appreciate you. Bye-bye. Well, astrology is the map. It is the terrain of time. And in our course, the Divine Timing Masterclass, we're going to be learning about 5 very powerful precision tools in astrology to time your best life. But here is the thing. This is a course that takes ancient timing tools and Time Lord tools, and yes, helps you navigate reality with greater ease and flow and even luck because you know how to work with it. But it is not the only part that astrology offers you. It's not only a prediction map of time. Once you start going down the astrology rabbit hole, you, like me, begin to wonder about fate and free will, like who's in charge here? Because you're going to see the arc of destiny, and you're going to notice if you use these timing tools, not only how to look forward, but how to look backwards. And one of the most surprising parts of this is that when we turn around and look backwards using astrology, we see pattern recognition and cycle repetition. So in my Divine Timing Masterclass, I've chosen 5 tools that I think I can teach intermediate to advanced beginner students. And I have taught this class before in 2022 and 2021, but not all of these tools. I taught 4 of these tools, I believe. So in our class, if you want to join me in the Divine Timing Masterclass for 5 consecutive weekends in the month of May on Saturdays, I'd love to have you there. There's a little checklist on my website that's going to ask you whether or not you think you're ready for this class, because you don't want to take this class if you've never before learned the meaning of the planets, the meanings of the houses, how to recognize the astrology glyphs. If you don't know the rudimentary language of astrology, this course will not be for you.
Lunatic astrology.